So in the previous video, we learned how much it would be to calculate cost per mile and then calculate the monthly cost and the yearly cost of running an automobile based strictly just on the gasoline. There's of course other costs that are involved, and later on in the semester we'll go out and have a project where you actually buy a car and calculate all of the expenses. There's maintenance expense, financing expense, lots of expenses. Cars are expensive, not to mention the insurance. I just put Eric on our insurance and about doubled the cost. So we'll find out that teenagers actually have to pay the most for insurance. But right now, we'll just stay focused on gasoline. So let's go ahead, and we're going to add to this just a little bit here in part 2 of this gasoline annual and monthly expense worksheet. And so a couple things I see I want to change right now. What do we have here? Monthly miles. Oh, that'll be okay. We'll leave that. That looks good. What we'll need to do is insert a couple of columns here so that we can put in a numerical listing and then also the name of the vehicle, because what you're going to do in this video is go out and go online, pick a variety of different automobiles, like 5 different vehicles, maybe a pickup truck, maybe a hybrid electric, something like a Prius, and then some mid-size sedans like a Corolla or a Camry, and different cars, whatever you're interested in, and do a comparison on how much these things will cost. And this is a real life application that you will want to do when you think about buying an automobile in the future, or for some of you might come up pretty soon as you head off to college. So to insert a column, a couple ways to do it. Let's take a look at the main menu here. I'm on the home main menu selection. I'm going to come over to insert. This is the cell section. Insert sheet columns right there. And let's go ahead and do it one more time. We'll insert 2 columns. Insert sheet columns. There we go. And then because we've done this, we want this to look nice over the top here. So what we could do is we could put this right in the center by merging this section up here in the top. So a couple different ways to do it. One thing you can do here so you can get used to moving cell data around is go ahead and click, even though this bleeds over into columns D and E, it's all really located right here in C1, because if you click in D1 you'll see there's nothing. Here's our formula bar, nothing there. But if I go back to C, that's what's in C, but it bleeds over into these other cells. So what we can do is we can come in here and we can make this entire row all the way to I one cell. But what I want to do first is go ahead and just take this text here, and if you notice, if you just point to the border, not the handle, that's different, that's for filling and copying, but click right there and just drag it down. I'll do that again. So I'm on C1, point to the border, multi-directional arrows, just drag it right there, and that's how you can move the cell contents. Next step is to select this row all the way to I. And then a shortcut for doing this is just click merge and center right there in the alignment. And so now you can see that A1 is just one big cell that covers many of these rows below it. And so let's go ahead and click back where our heading is, and we can copy that. We can use the shortcut Control key and the letter C, or we can right click, copy, come back up here to A1, and we can right click and paste like that, or we can press Control V and paste that right in the center. And then we can come back and delete the contents there where we had moved that out of the way. So now we have a nice centered title over the top of our worksheet. Now we created 2 new columns over here. So here, let's go ahead and put car name, and here we'll just make our listing. Yeah, let's go ahead and get 6 of them. Let's go ahead and make this column a little bit wider. Come on over to Format, Column Width, and let's make that 20. Now, something we need to take care of, a little bit of a fix from that previous lesson over here on cost per mile. When we had done this, I'm going to double click that. And I believe on your worksheet, probably have a 30 in there. Looks like that. And so we put in a number directly rather than referencing some other cell here in our worksheet. And so it's really important that you do reference worksheet values so that when we make a change, we can do something called a what-if analysis. What if we get a different car and the miles per gallon change? How will it affect the total annual and monthly cost? And so what you'll want to do is go ahead, and I'll do that again, is you can double click to go into an edit. And so we can either edit right within the cell, or we can edit right up here in the formula bar, right there. Either way. Now the other way to edit that, and you might recall from previous tests that we had, is that you can press the function 2 key, F2, will also allow you to edit the contents of a cell. And so I'm going to go ahead and do it right here within the cell. I'm going to delete that 30 and then replace it with the location of our miles per gallon. So we'll reference, in this case, cell C5. So our numbers haven't changed here, but I did change the reference to here. So if I change this, and let's say I go out and the first car I find, well, let me go ahead and put that in the center. And put a border underneath it. There, that looks better. So let's go out and find a Corolla. And I find out that it gets 39 miles per gallon. So I put in a 39. Now you will watch here that these costs will automatically update because I have referenced every one of these calculations to another cell, and they're all based on 39 miles per gallon. So I'll go ahead and click that check mark, watch these numbers here, and there we go. So the cost per mile changed. Why did it change? Because that calculation references MPG. Annual miles doesn't change. Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, had a bit of a malfunction there. Illustrates a good reason why you want to make sure you save, because I hadn't saved all that work that I had just done, so I had to go back and do it again. So make sure you save frequently. Control S. Well, anyway, I've gone back and rebuilt the worksheet up to the point where we left off. And I think I still need, I still need to reference that cell again. There we go. All right, so I believe I had in here a Corolla. 39 miles a gallon. And so now you can see that because all of these formulas are referenced beginning with miles per gallon, and here annual cost references cost per mile, which references miles per gallon. So because these things are all connected, then when you change this variable, it changes this calculation, and because this calculation is related to this calculation changes, and because that calculation changes, it also calculates the monthly cost. You know, we could have also done this monthly cost by taking our annual cost and dividing it by 12, but we'd have to put the number 12 somewhere to keep doing that. as far as referencing to another cell. As long as monthly cost did not need to be referenced somewhere else, we could have just put a 12 in right there. But instead of doing that, we just did multiplication instead of division right there. So, but as long as you link these cells together with formulas, then you can do a what-if analysis. What if we get 50 miles a gallon? And so you can see our cost is going down based on increasing miles per gallon. So I think I had 39 there. And so what you'll want to do now is go out, go online, look at some of your favorite cars, get a variety of different vehicles, maybe even go out and look at a Tesla. I have no idea what those, what kind of mileage those cars get. So check that out. And then the other thing I want you to do is go out and find out today's price for a gallon of gas. You can just go to Gas Buddy and put in either, I'll put in Redding, put in Klamath Falls. That'd be the closest place where we buy gasoline. So something Klamath Falls, Medford, Redding, gasbuddy.com, and you will be able to find out the current price for regular unleaded gasoline, and then calculate the annual and monthly cost for all of those different vehicles. Call me over if you have any questions. Went through that a little bit quickly, and I look forward to coming around and seeing your work.